In this video, we are going to talk about some patterns, what we can do with patterns to help us figure out things that really aren't, you could figure out how to do them without the patterns, but with the patterns, make them really, really an easy thing to do. For example, what if we have this sequence of 5 shapes, and they would repeat after it gets to the 5th shape? It just goes back to the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, goes back to the 1st, 2nd, 4th, 3rd, 5th. What if we were to do this pattern 464 times? Well, what shape would represent the 464th shape in this particular sequence? So, I mean, you can keep going and keep counting until you get to 464 and you realize it is the blank shape here. But let's actually figure out how we would mathematically figure this out. All right? Now, the important thing that we need to know is how many times does the pattern repeat? And we can obviously see in this problem that the pattern repeats every 5 shapes. So if we were to take 5 and divide it into 464, do some old school division here. So let's see, we get 45 and minus 1, and then we get, what, 2. Now, it's been a while probably since you've actually used the term remainder, but that's something important that we're going to use here. So let's break down what we've just done. The 92 represents how many full cycles of 5 we've done. I went through this cycle of 5 shapes 92 times. All right? The remainder part is the part that's going to tell us where to stop. It's saying you can go 4 more in this pattern of 5 shapes. So the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, and then here's the 4th in that pattern. So the 464th shape would be the star. So the remainder is the key to telling you which part of the pattern to go to be your final answer. Now, one extra thing I want to throw in here, this would be a remainder of 1, a remainder of 2, a remainder of 3, a remainder of 4, and then you might think this last one would be a remainder of 5. But if we're dividing by 5, we can't have a remainder of 5. That means that it could have divided into it 1 extra time. So instead of it being a remainder of 5, technically this is a remainder of 0. Now, if we wanted to apply this to numbers now, if I wanted to know the units digit of 3 to the 826th power, well, your calculator's not going to be able to handle a number so large. Come on, Bar, stick with me here. There we go. So how can we figure out what the units digit is? And by units digit, let me just clarify here real quick. Let's just say I have the number 1, 2, 3, 4. The units digit would be the ones digit, if you will. Okay, the one that comes right to the left of the decimal point, if you will. So we need to figure out a pattern with 3 to the 826th power. And more importantly, we need to find patterns with 3's. So if we started with 3 to the 1st, well, that's 3, and the units digit is, well, it's 3. 3 squared is 9, and 9 is the units digit. 3 to the 3rd is 27, and 7 is the units digit. 3 to the 4th is 81, and 1 is the units digit. 3 to the 5th is 243, and 3 is the units digit. Now, you might stop there and go, all right, well, we've got a repeat now, so does that mean the pattern's 4? I would always check one more time. What about 3 to the 6th? What is that? And that's 729. So yes, we can see that the pattern appears to be repeating in cycles of 4. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing we did earlier. We're going to take that 826 and we want to know how many cycles of 4 really can we get out of 826. So let's do our old school division here. What we at? 6. And so we get a remainder of 2. Again, 206 times hitting 3971, 3971, 3971. But we don't care about this number. It's the remainder that tells us how far we go into the next cycle, the 207th cycle in this case. So again, this is a remainder of 1. Here's a remainder of 2. So 9 is the units digit. Whatever this huge, ginormous number is, we know that it ends in a 9. And so the last one here, just as a test for you, figure out the units digit of 8 to the 54,213 power. You should get an answer of 8. So you can try this one out on your own, make sure you get an answer of 8, and you have mastered patterns with and without numbers.